Let's continue with chapter number 9 from your economics book of grade 12, and the name of the chapter is Forms of Market. And today we are going to start from monopolistic competition. So monopolistic competition is the form of market in which there are a large number of sellers of a particular product, with each seller selling somewhat differentiated but close substitutes to the products sold by other sellers. So there are some features. We have to go through the features also. So here we are trying to understand that the monopolistic competition is a kind of market where we can say that the products which are getting sold are having close substitute but not exact substitute. Okay, it is having close substitute. In this form of market, we are finding that there is a large number of sellers of a particular product, but we will find that they are not exactly same with each other. Okay, let us understand the features, then it will be much more clear for us. So number 1, large number of buyers and sellers. The number of sellers is large, but it is not unusually large. Okay, it is large, it is having many sellers but not usually too many. The implication of a fairly large number of farms is that each farm produces a small share of the total output. So we can say that the farm can lower its price without taking into account the reaction of the rival farms. It is particularly, or you can say it is partly, for this reason that farms under monopolistic competition are the price makers. In monopolistic competition, the number of buyers is very large. So large that no individual buyer can influence the price of the product by changing its demand. Okay, so if the seller is changing the price also, the too much of as because there is too much of demand, or you can say as there is too much of consumers of that product, so the purchaser, if they are denying or the buyers are denying to buy in that price also, if maybe that person is denying, somebody else will be buying because there is too many consumers there of this product. So differentiated products, each farm produces a product that is somewhat different from the products produced by its competitors, but it is not entirely distinct product. This is what I was trying to explain you. Products produced by different farms are substitutes of each other but not perfectly substitute. Firstly, products may be differentiated on the basis of physical characteristics of the product itself, such as the physical or chemical ingredients of the products different in quality, size, design, color, or packaging. Secondly, products may be differentiated on the basis of conditions, surroundings of the sale of the product. Okay, these conditions surrounding the sale of the product relate to the location of the seller, his reputation, his efficiency, his courtesy, his trustworthiness, okay, credit facilities, etc. These are also coming into calculation. Next is free entry and exit. There is no restriction on the entry of new farms into the industry. There is a freedom of entry in the sense that new farms are free to the produce close substitutes to the product produced by others, but with a different brand name, right? Next is selling cost. An important characteristic of monopolistic competition is that farms under monopolistic competition compete with each other by incurring selling cost or expenditure on sales promoting of their products. Selling cost is the expenditure incurred by the farms to produce the sale of the product through various sales promotion measures like advertisements, newspaper advertisement, TV commercials, door-to-door campaign. Okay, all these are coming here. In monopoly there is no need to engage in advertisement and other sales promotion measures, such as there are no competition. Non-price competition. Non-price competition is an essential part of monopolistic competition. Firms under monopolistic competition compete with each other not merely by price cutting but also on the basis of non-price competition, that is producing differentiated products, incurring advertisement expenditure, etc. So independent price policy, it can influence the price of the commodity to some extent. It means that a firm under monopolistic competition is the price maker of its product. Thus, firms under monopolistic competition set their own prices, but the market demand determines the sell or the amount of sell at that price. What is oligopoly market? First, we have to understand the meaning. It is that form of market structure in which there are a few firms selling a product so that there is instant competition among them. Many of them call, you can say, in a oligopoly market we will find there are 2 or 3 or 4 sellers, very few sellers, but often it is found that in an oligopoly there are 2 sellers. Whenever there is 2 sellers in an oligopoly, we call it duopoly. This is not mentioned in your book, so I told it to you. So this is the features. What are the features we have to understand? Few sellers. Okay, I told you just now. Oligopoly is a market structure in which a few firms dominate the industry. However, the number of buyers in oligopoly is quite large. Intense competition. And when there are very few producers in any industry, competition among them exists. Since there are only a few farms, each farm produces a large share of the market. Each farm with only a few rival farms knows that it has significant market power to influence the market price. But it is also known that it also knows that other farms in the industry also has such power. The number of the farms is so small that any action by one farm is likely to affect the rival farms. Next is interdependency. A very few important feature of oligopoly is the interdependency of the farms in respect of decision making. The number of farms in oligopoly is so few that each farm is worried about how its rival will react to anything it does. The reason for that is that when the number of competitors is small, any change in price, output, product, etc. by one farm will affect the rival farm and will force them to retaliate by changing the price, output, product, etc. Next is nature of the product. The farms under oligopoly may produce either homogeneous product or differentiated product. Accordingly, we may have oligopoly without producing differentiated, or pure oligopoly we can say, or oligopoly with produced or product differentiation. Okay, importance of selling cost. In view of the intense competition and interdependency of farms under oligopoly, the farms compete each other through various sales promotions measures like price cutting, discounts, door-to-door campaign, advertisements, etc. Okay, barrier to entry. The existence of oligopoly is the long run necessities. The existence of efficient barriers to entry the new farms to the industry. In the absence of these barriers to entry of new farms, the oligopoly may not retain its characteristics of a few sellers in the long run. A lot many industries are dominated by a few large farms in most of the modern economics because of such barriers to entry. Next, we are having the last point, interdeterminate demand curve of an oligopolist. An important feature of oligopoly is that the demand curve faced by an oligopolist is interdetermined because it does not know how the rival firm will react to its move to lower price. Next is monopsony. Monopsony can be defined as a situation where there is a single buyer, single buyer of the product who is not in competition with other buyers for the product which is purchased and in which the entry into the market by other buyers is impossible. Thus, we can say that the monopsony refers to a situation when there is single buyer of a product or service. It implies to any situation in which there is a monopoly element in buying. The single buyer can be called as the monopsonist. Monopsonist. So let's continue. What are the features? Single buyer. Monopsony is a market structure where there is only one buyer of a commodity, service, or input. It is a case of only one firm purchasing the entire product or factor service. Number 2 is large number of sellers. While there is one buyer, there are a large number of sellers or suppliers of a product or factor service. Specialized product or input. An important condition for the existence of monopsony is that the suppliers of the product or service are supplying a specialized product in the monopsonist which cannot be used by any other firm producing similar product. Next is lack of mobility. In the case of labor market, monopsony can emerge only if there is lack of geographical or occupational mobility. Price maker. Just as the monopolist is able to influence the price of the product by changing the quantity it offers for sale, in the same way the monopsonist is able to influence the price at which it buys the product or input. The monopsonist can offer any price for the product or input it buys, and suppliers of this product must either accept the price or stop supplying to the monopsonist. This is the end of the chapter, and rest of the part given in your book is not included in your syllabus, in your reduced syllabus for your semester 1. Thank you. Hopefully you understood the chapter.